From ivory tower populism, this is video 14. Replacing national income redistribution with local income distribution.
As a review, refer back to video 2, Is Free Stuff Good? Also, video 3, Public Goods versus Private Goods.
So instead of having income redistribution at the national level, we could go back to the organizations that actually created the value in the first place. The universities, the corporations, the agencies, the local governments, etc. Club goods, or local public goods, create so much value, where some public goods aren't goods at all. They are just redistribution. Refer to video 11 about the Responsibility Center. The Responsibility Center is self-governed, having its own sources of revenue and its own expenses. It is responsible for and motivated to create more value and control its own expenditures. So we should distribute better within the Responsibility Center. We should not redistribute between responsibility centers. Essentially, all of this point is another way of advocating for a capital-owning democracy. This approach still looks at equity issues. The corporation should really address its highest paid labor and its lowest paid. The corporation could look at the difference between return on labor and return on capital. Stakeholder capitalism could take a more prominent role in boardrooms, and not just empty PR. Firms could emphasize customer empowerment and employee empowerment. Workers earn more, make more of the decisions, and share in more of the profits. A wealthy corporation might lower poverty among its own workers and customers more effectively than a distant federal government, if only they were expected to and incentivized to. They could even compete with other corporations to do so more effectively. Imagine if companies such as Walmart and Amazon invested in improving the economic fortunes of their own workers and customers equal to making their shareholders richer. Customers could be more involved in product and service design and seen as partners, not as players in a zero-sum game. Same with workers. Perhaps more corporations should measure their performance by the triple bottom line and the balanced scorecard. Perhaps that's how investors should measure their performance. Perhaps that's how government, especially tax authorities, should measure corporate performance. Similarly, maybe the university should address the difference between its most successful graduates and its least successful, and even those students who started but didn't persist. Maybe this is where we should examine the difference between the haves and have-nots, back at the point where the educational value was created in the first place. Income share agreements do exactly that, especially if universities underwrite their own agreements. Now, Yale University did utilize income share agreements from 1971 to 1978. Their tuition postponement plan allowed students to borrow funds from the university and repay them as a percentage of their future income over a set period of time. However, the program faced challenges, including adverse selection, while more successful students considered it to be unfair. It was ultimately discontinued by the end of the decade. However, merely pushing these same questions and problems up to the national level is simply sweeping the problem under the rug, making it invisible. It's kind of like punching someone in the dark.
Ow.
Some say private income share agreements make graduates indentured to investors. But how is it any different when taxpayers are indentured to the government? Except that you can choose between thousands of colleges and hundreds of geographical municipalities. You can pick the one that best fits your own values and preferences. Furthermore, organizations which are competing must perform. But there's only one federal government per country. There is no choice, and there is no comparison metric to see who is performing better. These are just philosophical viewpoints, but the policies that might derive from these points would be far more innovative and far more effective than all the status quo policies and tired old arguments and cliches from both sides of the aisle. If you would like a written transcript of today's lecture, sorry, I can't help you. I'm just an AI voiceover. So until next time.